Hello there and welcome to today's video, and it's all about why your prospects don't buy. I thought I'd share this with you today because there's a lot of people, including me at times, who think about why didn't that person buy from me? They gave me all the right feelings and all the right feedback, and we had a great discussion. There's a lot of smiling and thank you and all like this, but nothing happened. Okay? Nothing happened. And I often wonder about that. And I'm wondering whether you have the same problem. Do you have a situation when you're talking to a prospect, a potential customer, and everything seems to be right, but nothing ever happens? They don't decide to do business with you. They don't decide to do anything. If that's the case, then I've got some thoughts that I might share with you today that might help you. Okay. My name is Pretty Beckett. I'm the village marketer. And as always, talking to you from my little Thai village way up near the Cambodian border. Let me acknowledge some people. Thank you very much for joining me. Nabil Maki from Lebanon, good to see you. Okay, Bill Pickett, good to see you. Thank you very much, Bill. Ali, nice to see you too. Ali Bake, thanks for joining. Lynette Chang, thank you. I know you've got a webinar to get to pretty soon, so I appreciate you sharing some time with me. Thank you very much indeed. You are all very impressive. If I missed anybody, who else is there? Lynette, I got you. Okay, if I've missed you, I'll come back again in a minute. All right, let's look at this. Why your prospects don't buy. Now, this is not any scientifically proven thing, right? A lot of this is gut instinct, but I've also done a lot of statistical research on this to see if I can prove some things. The first thing, one of the key reasons why maybe your prospects are not buying from you is because your prospects don't see the value in your product, in your offer, in your solution, whatever it may be. In other words, they can't see how it can be of any value to them. You might think it's the most valuable thing in the world, okay? And it could be for lots of people, but for the person you're talking to, they don't see the value in it for them. That's as simple as that. What do you do about that? If they don't see the value in that, then really, perhaps you haven't identified for them what their real needs are. If you think your product can solve a potential need for that prospect, then you should talk to the prospect about the particular need that maybe your solution can solve. If the prospect can see that, right, and accept that, then you're in a better position because then they may value what you've got a bit more. Does that make sense? Because right now, they may have the problem that your potential offer can solve, but to them, it's no big deal. They've been living with it for years. So what's the point? There's no point in spending money on it right now, unless you can show them the cost of not fixing that problem. Then all of a sudden, that particular need may become more urgent for them, and therefore the value of your offer may become more important, all right? So think that through. They don't feel the perceived value in your product. Another one, you didn't earn their trust. This is very important. A lot of people in the helter-skelter of the day try sometimes to trim the way that they're talking to people, and they don't give your potential client, the potential customer, due deserve. They simply are hoping like mad that they will be convinced by the sales pages you've got, by the fancy video, by the great fonts, by the super price you've got, by the guarantees you're offering, whatever it is, okay? And you're just hoping they are. However, if there's no trust in there, it doesn't matter how good the guarantee is, they're not going to buy it, okay? So you've got to make sure you earn their trust. It's the old-fashioned way of doing things, but people buy darn people. There isn't anything new about that, and that's a fact of life. So, next one. They don't understand the benefits of your product. Initially, I said they don't understand the value of your product, but if they don't understand the benefits of your product, that means you simply haven't explained yourself very well at all. That's all that really means, right? You need to explain what these benefits are in terms of how it appeals to them, okay, and how it affects them. Not just blanket offer. You've got to be very specific and show how your particular solution can actually benefit their particular problem. All right, does that make sense? Another one, maybe they're not even aware of your product. Maybe they're not even aware of you properly. Probably maybe because you're fishing in the wrong pond or you're talking to the wrong target audience. If that's the case, then they will not know who you are. They will not be aware of your product, or they don't know you very well. And all that, there's no like and trust factors in there, so they don't buy from you. It's pretty darn simple. So if you're finding you are talking to people and they're not buying from you, maybe you're talking to the wrong people. Maybe the people you're talking to right now can't afford what you have. Maybe the people you're talking to right now can afford what you have, but they don't know you well enough to trust you yet. So you've got to do some more work with them. Whatever it is, the key issue is the reason people aren't buying can be very complex. Don't play games with this. It can be very complex, and you've got to get to the truth and the clarity with people in order to get to understand why they didn't buy. Because if you never know why they didn't buy, you're never going to learn. And if you never learn, you're going to keep making the same darn mistakes, and therefore you'll keep fishing in the wrong pond, and you will have a business going nowhere, okay? Another one, interesting, when it comes to price. Maybe your price is too high, and then again, maybe it's too low. It can be either way, right? If it's too high, in other words, they don't see the value for the price that you've got, you've got work to do with them to identify with them why it's so valuable, okay? If it's too low, they may think this is rubbish and it's not good quality because it's just too cheap. And if that's the case, then you've got a very interesting point. You've got a situation where you've got great value for money, but it's going to be perceived as so cheap that people aren't going to buy it. Sounds crazy, but it's true. It's true. I'll give you a case in point. We have a Thai silk business here, right? Handmade Thai silk business. I'm going back 10 years now when we first started, and we were selling our traditional handmade Thai silk for $15 a meter. Fabric, $15 a meter, okay? And we were doing okay. But then a couple of customers took us aside and said, because they knew what we were doing, the benefits of our business were going to help the children in the village. And so they bought into our mission, so to speak, right? And they said to us, look, Amuel and Peter, Amuel is my wife's name, you are crazy, you guys. You are selling your silk for $15 a meter. It's beautiful quality silk. It's as good as anything you get in Italy, and they're charging $100 a meter. People aren't going to buy your silk because they think it's going to be cheap Chinese type silk. Yet it's high quality handmade Thai silk. Guess what we did? We tripled the price and we tripled the sales. Perfect case in point. We were too darn cheap. So people were perceiving what we had as not good value, and yet it really was good value. Okay, another one. Maybe you're giving people too many choices, too many options. A really good example of this today, we have this paid television channel thing called True Visions here in Thailand, okay? And we're having problems with the remote and that sort of stuff. They came out to service it, and then they wanted to offer us a different deal, right? And I was quite happy. I mean, I'd just like to watch the sport and a few mystery movies because I love mysteries, right? Anyway, they were going through all their list of options with me, right? But I just got so confused. I mean, they gave me 13 options to decide from. 13. This is just a television channel, right? I mean, series of channels. I said, oh, just leave me what it is. There's too many options. I'm happy with what I've got here. If they hadn't have done that, I may have been interested. But they gave me too many darn choices to think about. And so if you're giving your customers too many choices, be careful. Sure, give them a choice, but don't give them more than 3 or 4. Don't give them 5 or 6 or 7. Otherwise, people get confused. Or in the case of True Vision, 13. I mean, crazy, right? Another one, interesting, and this is the last one for you. Maybe you didn't ask them to buy. Maybe you were hesitant, okay, about, oh, I don't want to be appear sales. I don't want to be pushy anything. I'm just hoping they'll say, yeah, I want to buy it, okay? Now, if you do the right thing and you identify their problems and you come to the truth with them and clarity, and you find that what their real problem is and your solution is a really good fit for that, if all those things are in place, there's a darn good chance that they will say, I'd like to buy this. What do we do now? But they may not. They may not. And there's no harm in you saying at this point in time, well, will we go ahead with it? Ask for the order. Okay? If you do it properly, most time people will give you the order, but not always. So if you are missing out on people because you thought they did everything right, they were probably waiting for you to ask them, but you didn't do it. And when you didn't do it, they may be thinking, maybe there's something wrong because he didn't ask us to buy. Food for thought, okay? I want to leave you with this comment, and then I'm going to give you a call to action. This comment's from one of my favorite speakers. His name is Simon Sinek, okay? And I want you to, if you've got a pen, write this down, because there's something you should put into your marketing when we're talking about why your prospects don't buy. Okay, I'll give it to you now. People don't buy what you do. People buy why you do it. And what you do simply proves what you believe. Right? People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. And what you do simply proves what you believe. That says it all. When it comes to you marketing your product, and if you look at that and then think about why your customers aren't buying, you've got it there. What is your why? Do they know what your why is? Have you shown them what your why is? It's powerful. Just like storytelling is powerful, so is your why. Okay, there you go. Call to action. 1, if you want to join me in my tribe, I have a Facebook group called Your Next Level. Love to see you there. Come and look for it on Facebook. Answer the questions, please. Please don't ignore answering the 3 questions. It's all part of becoming part of the community. If you want to become part of the community, answer the questions, okay? Your Next Level. Secondly, I've got a free PDF for you, okay? And it's called How to Really Understand Your Clients. How to really understand your clients. If you think you need that, send me a personal message and I'll shoot it out to you. All right. Thank you very much for sharing your time. All the people here in the thing, and I can't see too many. But if you leave me a comment and I like the things, I'd really appreciate that. So thank you very much. Talk to you again in the very near future. Many blessings from Thailand. Bye for now.